Hey everybody, and welcome to my review of the LEGO Ninjago Imperium Dragon Hunter Hound set. This is set number 71790 and it comes with 198 pieces and is recommended for ages 6 and up. We're going to kick things off by taking a look at the minifigures that come in the set, starting with Lloyd. This is a great looking minifigure. He has a very detailed chest and leg print. As we turn the figure to the side here, you can see that there's no printing on the arms, but it does give a better look at the hood piece, which is actually made up of 2 pieces. This figure does come with the back print, but we'll take a better look at that once we remove that hood piece. Also on the back of the hood, you can see this giant circle plastic piece, and we'll talk about what that does in just a second. But overall, I do like this minifigure. It's not as detailed as some of the other figures I've gotten in LEGO Ninjago sets, but I do like it overall, and I think it's executed well. That circular piece that is attached to the back of the hood is actually used to hold Lloyd's golden katanas. And I think it looks really cool when the katanas are actually placed inside the circle, but without them, I do feel like it looks a little awkward. I still think it's a rather neat inclusion to the figure, however. Removing Lloyd's hood, we can get a better look at his face print, which depicts him wearing a mask with an angry expression. And as we turn the figure around to the back here, you can see he has a more stern second expression, and we get a better look at that back print, which looks absolutely awesome. And again, I think this is a great looking figure. I do wish he came with the hairpiece, however. The next minifigure we're going to be taking a look at is Jay, who is very similar to the Lloyd minifigure. There is some slight differences in the chest and back printing, however, but the design of the minifigure remains largely the same. Jay comes with that same hood piece that is in 2 pieces, as well as that circular piece that can be used to hold his katanas in the back. And just like the Lloyd minifigure, I do think this is a relatively solid figure overall, and its execution is done well. We're going to take a quick look at Jay when he has the katanas mounted up on his back. And I think this is a really cool feature for these figures. I do wish, however, that circular piece could be removed when the katanas aren't being worn on the back. This is a minor complaint though, and it doesn't hurt my overall opinion on the figure. Removing the mask pieces from Jay, we get a better look at his face print, which depicts him wearing a mask with a smirk. His second facial expression depicts him being a little bit more agitated or angry. We also get a better look at that back print. Last up, we're going to be taking a look at Jay while he's holding onto his katanas, and I do like how they're gold. I think it complements some of the printing on both of these figures very well. The last minifigure we're going to be taking a look at is called the Imperium Claw General. And overall, I think this is another relatively solid LEGO minifigure. It's got a lot of detailed printing on the chest and legs there. It also has some body armor that goes over the minifigure's head, as well as a really cool looking helmet. And as we make our way to the back of the figure, you can see that it has a back print, but we'll be removing the armor in a minute so we can get a better look at that. And if you're enjoying the video, consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel for more brick-built content and reviews. Removing the general's armor, we can get a better look at his chest print, which has a lot of detail, as well as the face print. I'm relatively impressed with it overall. And I'm happy to say that the same can be said for the back half of the figure as well. The back printing has a lot of detail, and there's also a really solid print on the back of the figure's head, which is cool to see because it's something you're typically not going to see when the character wears his helmet. The general also comes with this really cool and intricate looking spear, and I like its design overall, and it makes sense with how long it is, so the character can actually fight while on the back of his hound. Speaking of which, with all the minifigures out of the way, we're now ready to talk about the Imperium Dragon Hunter Hound, which is the main build for this set. And I really like the colors that LEGO decided to use. I think the gold armor complements the overall black design of the Hound well. Sprinkle in a little bit of red to complement the flag on the wolf's back, and you've got a relatively solid color palette. As far as the actual design of the Hound itself, it's entirely brick built, and I think the overall design of it is done relatively well. I don't think it's perfect, however. The only thing that I really don't care about when it comes to the design of this Hound is how skinny the middle of its body is. I would have liked to have seen this area be beefed up just a little bit, and I think with that gold ring around the Hound's body, it really emphasizes how skinny this thing is. This build also comes with a couple stickers. There's one here on the back of the Hound, as well as on the Imperium flag. Taking a look at the front of the Hound, I am happy to say that the eyes are printed on this thing. If these were stickers, you'd have to be really careful with lining them up to get that perfect symmetrical look. So good for LEGO for making these prints. And I do like the design of the head overall. I love that little piece there on the wolf's chin to give it a little bit of a bearded look. The head of the Hound also has some pretty good articulation. Its neck is on a ball joint so it can be moved up and down. The mouth is on a hinge, which allows it to be opened and closed, which is cool to see, as well as the ears of this thing. They are also on hinges so they can be moved side to side. And with how small the head is for this thing, you can give it a lot of expressiveness. The Hound also has a lot of range of motion in its extremities. This is thanks to the use of ball joints, which allows for the legs to be moved forward, to the side, as well as backwards. Having the range of motion in these front legs is great for kids in creative play so they can have the wolf swipe and attack the ninjas that come in this set. Surprisingly, if we take the Hound and move him to the side here, his back legs are not on ball joints, they're actually on hinges. I'm not sure why LEGO decided to go with this choice. I don't know if it was to complement the overall shape of the build or maybe to give it a little bit more stability in the back. I'm not sure. I don't think this design choice makes or breaks this set, it's just interesting and worth noting. However, the Hound's stubby little tail is on a ball joint so it can be rotated around. which is a nice inclusion, and lastly, there's a little bit of articulation in the Hound's feet thanks to the use of another ball joint. With all this articulation and range of motion, you can get the Hound in some pretty fierce looking poses. The last thing I want to mention about this build is there is this orange 2x2 studded tile found on the Hound, and its purpose is to serve as a seat for the Imperium Claw General, who once placed on the Hound looks like he's ready for battle. This set retails for $20, however I was able to find it online for $15.99, which I think is actually a rather fair price for what you're getting. I do like this build overall. Thanks so much for watching my review, and be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more future brick built content and reviews.